Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I have a very special video for you. I'm going to be sharing my Colorado trip that I took with Daisy this past year and what I decided to use and bring with me on that trip, which would be the Nikon F3 paired with the Voigtlander 55mm f1.2 lens. Gorgeous combo. It was a treat to use and it was a beautiful trip. So along with the Nikon F3, I decided to shoot 3 film stocks while I was there, which would be Cinestill 50D, 400D, and Kodak Portra 160. So I'll try to keep the talking to a minimum in this video, but our first destination that we visited was Vail, Colorado. I don't want to look back. I don't want to look back. I don't want to look back. I want to point the camera back. Oh God! I don't want to look back. I don't want to look back. feeling, babe? Excited? Do it one more time.
I'm gonna take a picture of you guys.
Look at that, you can see the lake. Wow. I think one of the most challenging things that I've experienced while on this trip has been being a little bit more resourceful with my film, because everything I point my camera at is like gorgeous to the point where I want to photograph it, and not every photo might be worth taking, but it's kind of hard to pass up sometimes. Like, look at this view. Like, how am I supposed to not take a photo of this? This is gorgeous. Like that. That's how you do it. This little like shack or outhouse, we were just driving by and it just kind of caught my eye. And since I've been testing out the Voigtlander 55mm, I figure this might be a really good test for the depth. And since there's some cloud cover now, I might actually be able to shoot it all the way open. I don't want any cars in the frame, really. So I'm going to try to be patient. That should be cool. and it's raining. Okay, so let me just get back on my Sony before it gets soaked, and then I can't make the rest of this video. Church is beautiful. All right, you guys, we are here in Colorado Springs in the Garden of the Gods, and it looks insane here, to say the least. We woke up super early for me and Daisy anyways. It was like 5 a.m. And drove all the way down here just to try and catch some really good light, and not disappointed. So it's beautiful. Right behind me, I believe I have Pikes Peak. Today, I have no film loaded up because I finished my last roll of 400D yesterday. So today, we're gonna load up on Portra 160. So I haven't shot Portra 160 yet, so it'll be something new for me. I've heard mixed kind of reviews about Portra 160, but it's probably still focused on my face. That's okay. But yeah, Portra 160. We're gonna load it up in the Nikon F3 and see what we get. I've been shooting 50D and 400D, but because I just got this Voigtlander 55mm lens, I've been wanting to shoot it wide open during this whole trip, but I haven't really been able to do that all the time, especially with 400D loaded up in my camera yesterday. It was really hard to shoot all the way open because this only has a 2,000th of a second shutter speed only. It's pretty fast, but not for 1.2 during the day. So I'm hoping that 160 ISO will kind of help with that, because I don't know, I don't really want to shoot 50D again. So this is the lowest exposure that I think I could get in Portra. So yeah. I think we're good. Perfect. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Get a little. And look it back at me now. Driving on the side of the highway and came across this old rusted truck. I can't really resist taking photos of stuff like this, and it's not really great lighting since the sun is right over me, as you can tell, but I'm gonna take it anyway, so. What did I think about the Nikon F3 and the Voigtlander 55 that I had paired with it? So in all, I really enjoyed the fact that this camera got out of the way in a lot of ways, like measuring for exposure. I didn't necessarily have to worry about, checking the light meter all the time and changing my settings according to what the, environment was, because this does have an auto shutter speed mode and exposure compensation. So with that, I was pretty, snap and go which was great for a trip like this because again, I wasn't trying to focus too much on taking the photos. I was really just more so trying to have a balance between enjoying our trip, taking photos, taking video, you know, for you guys to see, and having any other camera, I think might have gotten in the way of that. And as small as it is, this just kind of made it so that I was not thinking too long and hard about things other than just snapping the photo, which for a film camera is great. The 55mm lens, love the characteristics that I got from it. Probably its best attribute is portraits. I loved the portraits that I took of Daisy with this lens. It was really great for just kind of almost creating this like magical glow on a person. In general, I was really pleased with the way that this lens rendered. I didn't love how soft it was at 1.2. It's a strange thing, but I felt like when taking photos of things that were further away, if I was shooting at a wider aperture, it just looked a lot blurrier, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm not, you know, a lens expert in any way. I've used a lot of lenses and can kind of identify characteristics, but I will say anytime I took pictures of anything somewhat closer in distance, even at wider apertures, the lens didn't have a lot of bloom to it. But whenever I took pictures of things that were further away, especially when it comes to landscapes, not that you should be shooting a landscape wide open anyways, but when doing that, it did kind of have this almost like painterly effect is like the best way that I could describe it. If that's something you enjoy, it's very present in this lens. I noticed it the most with a landscape photo of Daisy where I had her in the foreground and you could see the slopes in the background. That photo to me, when you actually, you know, look into the details, it looks very much painterly. Which is cool, but it is something that I will say maybe isn't for everyone. Not that you're supposed to be shooting landscape photos at a wide open aperture anyways. Again, I was going into this knowing that I was going to be taking these photos and they weren't always going to come out the sharpest. I was just trying to see what characteristics I was going to get out of the lens and the film stock. So how much of it's the film stock and how much of it is the lens, I'm not 100% sure yet because I have to take a lot more photos to really come to that conclusion, use a bunch of different film stocks with it. But in general, I would say it's a gorgeous lens and very, very sharp once stopped down. I don't have the settings that I took for every single photo, but I think it's very clear to see when I was shooting at something like f2 and above because it looks much sharper. Even when there's like foreground, background separation, to me, if it's sharp, I was definitely at f2 and above. And if it's blurry in any way, or like things that are supposed to be in focus have like a blur to it, it was definitely either wide open or close to it, like 1.2 or 1.8. But whenever I was using this lens, you know, stop down at like f4 and above, it's very sharp, the rendering is very beautiful, and something that also went away as you stop down is the vignetting. The vignetting on this, especially wide open, is very prominent and something I had to take note of and have taken note of while using it going forward. As you stop down, you know, to around f4, the vignetting really starts to go away, but also when you're open, wide open, there's a swirliness on the edges along with the vignetting. So it's a very interesting lens because it has a lot of character all the way open, but the minute you close down, just like really any lens, if you think about it, it really does sharpen up quite a bit. So if you're looking at this lens and wanting to get really clean results with it all the time, you know, I would suggest maybe shooting at, you know, f2 and above, 2.8 in that range. But if you're then wanting to specifically get some character in an image, you know, you can utilize the 1.2, 1.4 aperture to your advantage. Not to mention the quality on this is pretty crazy. It has a very soft, buttery focus throw, very pleasing to use, very easy to focus, especially with the split prism in the camera. And the viewfinder, of course, is really bright because this is an f1.2 lens. So overall, is very, very good lens. And I'm glad that I have it paired with this camera. It's You know, not that this matters, but it's also a very pretty combo. The F3 does have a very sleek look to it, and the Voigtlander does a really good job, you know, pairing with that. So great. Do I need another lens with the Nikon F3, especially if I'm going back to Colorado? Yes. Yeah, I would definitely take something wider with me, maybe a 24, maybe like a 20 if there's something like that out there. Definitely a wide angle lens is needed, but I don't really think I would bring anything mid-range with me, like a 35 or anything like that, because I feel like I would be really torn in between using something really wide and using something like this for portraits. So not 100% sure, but definitely need to pair something else with this Nikon F3, but for now, this 55mm is holding me down. So beautiful trip. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Subscribe if you aren't already. Okay, peace.